Coach Thompson, welcome to the Kirk and Byrd Show. We appreciate you joining us.
Sorry about that, Coach. I put 9:45, but that's no problem. How are you, sir?
I'm good, man.
Good. You practice at 7 after dark, little crisp out there, right?
Yeah. So we don't have to meet we meet on Sunday, so we go late on Monday. We could actually meet today instead of going on Halloween, so a lot of them got kids.
Yeah. Got it. Well, thanks for coming on our show. We know you're wrapping up the season this weekend with Independence. And when I talked to you on my other podcast, you talked about the team, you had reasonable expectations, and you're undefeated. Number one power rated team. You just jumped Oscar Smith, had a great year. We've been able to see you play a couple times, and we've been really impressed. Why don't you tell Rusty and I a little bit about how your team's doing now? Because before, you didn't know what you had. You were coming off the COVID year. You're undefeated, had some great wins. Tell us where your team is now, what they're doing well, and how you feel about going into the playoffs, Coach.
Well, honestly, I told him tonight when we met, I said, I did not, you guys exceeded expectations because I did not expect to be undefeated. Mm-hmm. I think, the biggest thing you can say about the whole season is that they've bought in, they've tried to get better. And, we have a lot of guys that are playing for the first time that are just slowly getting better. And so we're getting better. We still have a lot of deficiencies. So we got to be on it on everything. And because we got guys playing out of position in a lot of places, we just don't have people. So, we're outmanned in some places, and we're making up for it by just playing together.
Right. Okay.
Coach, one of the things I seen, and we were at the game against Freedom, but one of the things I noted early in the year is I love your schedule, man. You took them on. Like you guys played a really tough schedule. Your non-conference with Madison and Freedom and Colonial Forge, and Centerville. Like I know that's got to be when you're putting it down. You're probably hoping you would love to be 9-0, but I mean you're there. Like you guys, to me, look like you're really prepared for your postseason run. But to get through this schedule, I think you've been doing a great job.
Well, I wish it was the other way around because I feel like at this point now, they think they've arrived and they're a little complacent, and I worry about that. We've had some, not real close games lately, and it's one of those things where now it's like, are we really, really getting sharp here at the end? I believe we are, but it's a task to keep pushing that.
Yeah. I know I've coached youth football, middle school football for the last couple of years, and I know it's some of the toughest jobs is when you do have a good team and you're getting to the end of the year. I was just telling kids I know that play for South County that I used to coach, and they took an L. But I was saying, now, all right, the coaches you try to tell these athletes, hey, work on this. But when they're winning, I know that's a little more difficult. But when you get that L, you want. Now look at this. But I'm sure you can always find something. I know my coach could always. I played for the great Dennis Kozlowski at Bethel High School, and he could always find something, and that helped us to grow.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to lose, but sometimes a loss. When we won it in 2007, we had a pretty tough loss to Robinson, and that was one of those things where that was the wake up call. That was the It was beneficial, but I never want that loss. But
was that the year you guys Potomac? Is
yes.
that when you beat Potomac in the state championship at UVA? I was there. You had a great team.
That was UVA. Yeah.
Right.
They played at UVA, and yeah. Okay.
Coach, how's the health of your team?
We're healthy right now. I mean, we lost our best defensive lineman early on in Nate Moorhead, but other than that, we're fairly healthy. I think the big thing, I think that's going to determine who does well in the playoffs. In my opinion, it just nobody has depth, nobody, and a loss here or there, a turned ankle, anything like that is just going to be tough to overcome.
Right now, talk to us about maybe some kids that have come into their own, because you had a lot of kids not play last year that are getting to play for the first time. Talk to us about, some of the kids that have really come up and surprised you, and the kids that are doing very well. I mean, you got a great football team. We've seen them, excellent, great fundamentals. But talk to us about, some of the kids that have really jumped out and had a great year coming off of that COVID, which was really bad.
Well, I mean, our skill guys, all of them are new starters for the most part. Zeke Wimbush started some, but he's had a great year, and him and Colin Hart and Dylan Hundermark, they're the guys that run the ball, big pass plays, all that. And, they've just grown together. They're becoming much better blockers. They support each other. And Eli Mason and Jacob Thomas in the back, Eli running the ball and Jacob at quarterback we're just really explosive and multi-dimensional on offense. I think that's been a big deal for us to grow that way. And our offensive line, all new. Carter Sweezy was the only one returning. So we have 5 guys starting to play better there. And I think the thing that you're seeing is a huge growth in our offense. Mm-hmm. And, our defensive line is a little is not the biggest defensive line, but they got heart. But they need the support of scoring points so that people just don't, try to just run straight at us and try to manhandle us up front. We got great players, but we need space. We're not, there's not many guys that are 220 or 230, or most of them are smaller than that.
Wow. Oh, wow.
We were really impressed with Jacob Thomas. I mean, he moves well. He one of the things is that once he starts moving around the pocket, he doesn't put his head down and he makes passes downfield. I think with that type of high school quarterback that can throw and run, you can go a very long way. Now, I've heard, I don't know if you can say this or not, Coach, that he's committed to Richmond. Is that against the rules? So
yes.
He's committed to Richmond?
Yes.
Okay. Oh. Go ahead, Rusty.
Oh no, I've followed you for years, Coach, but some of our listeners, especially with this particular show, may not have know a lot about your history. Can you tell us when did you first get into coaching, and what were some of your earlier stops? Because I know you've had great success along the way, but where are you from? I like to know that, because we've never personally met. So where did you grow up? Where did you play football, and then how did you get into coaching?
I grew up in Sterling Park, so I went to Broad Run High School, so right down the road. So I'm back home basically. Yeah. And I haven't coached many places. I coached in Orange County with Danny Meyer. Yeah. He was the first guy I really worked with. Then I came back home, coached with Jerry Smith, my old high school coach, for a year or two, and then I was at Parkview High School with Ed Scott. So that's where I've been to those 3 places, and then I got a chance to start the program here. Well, Ed Scott actually left at Parkview, so I got to take over there.
I remember your Parkview. Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, basically, it was the guys I look to are Danny Meyer, Jerry Smith, and Ed Scott. They're the 3 guys that I got to coach under, learn from, and we've just been we've been pretty fortunate. Since we've been running, especially single wing offense, has been really good to us. But I think the most important thing is we've been able to grow with it. We're not going to sit in that. We have spread offense. We're running a lot of option this year because we got a quarterback. So we're able to get a lot of mix and keep, the single wing is a big part of what we do, but it's only a part of what we do. So we've been able to move, I think, and keep up with the times on offense.
I love, man, when I followed you guys over the years, but I loved what I saw in that Freedom game. When I've coached, I've always been on the defensive side. Preparing for you guys would just be a nightmare for me. But I love what you do, because now some of these teams, everybody may go to the spread, and it's been a couple of teams I followed this year. They play that spread, and that's all they know how to do. And I'll see them on the 1-yard line, first and goal at the 1-yard line, and they will never put that quarterback under center. They will never bring in a tight end. They will never go ahead. And now they're just playing this style of football. and they don't know why they're not having some success in a lot of ways. So I love the way you're able to run, throw, mix it up. You use the talent you have for each season. You know, if you got a bunch of big guys, you'll do it this way, but if you're a little smaller, you'll do it another. So that shows me you know, just the depth of your knowledge in coaching, but I'm sure you also are able to empower your assistant coaches and coordinators to have be included in that success. So what I want to ask you next is, what are some of the guys, some of your coaching tree that we would know of? Are anybody that's ever coached under you? Are they out? Are they head coaches? Are they doing things at other levels?
Well, I mean, I don't know if they didn't necessarily. Mike Skinner was with me, and he was, but he had already been a head coach at Centerville, and then he went on to coach Woodgrove, state championship there. Now Derek Barlow's the coach there. He coached with me.
Okay.
A lot of our guys there's a lot of guys out there that are assistants all over the place. I think we have 16 in the county that I've coached with. So we have there's a lot of guys out there, a lot of former players out there coaching.
Yep.
So I feel good about that aspect. We've had guys that are really loyal that wanted to stay but moved on because they had a chance to do great things. Matt Grivis is at Broad Run, and he was with me for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
A decent amount of guys.
He's no longer coaching, but Charlie Pierce, who had so much success at Briar Woods, he was with you at Parkview, correct?
He took over for me after I left Parkview.
Right. Oh, but did he ever coach with you?
No.
Oh, okay. Got it. All right. So now, what's your thoughts on, you're talking about your kids, they may be facing a team maybe in the second round that you've already beaten. And that's tough because, when you got to play a team for a second time, there's a lot of, what we're talking about. You lost to this team. You really got a motivation. So that's one of those things coming up is you may see that probably in your second game. And we also want to point out you've got every game at Stonebridge until, if you make it to the state championship, until Old Dominion Foreman Field.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, and that's been a problem. I mean, it's not any fun. Like, we play Independence this last game.
Mm-hmm.
We're fortunate enough to beat them. We could end up playing them again in the first round. And then the second round, we could end up playing Woodgrove.
Right. Exactly.
Who we've already played.
Mm-hmm.
I would really like to see us play just different people. I enjoy playing. When you get to the playoffs, you want it to be a little different, play somebody different. So I'm hoping it doesn't set up that way, but it could.
Right. Any thoughts on out of region?
I don't know. I've heard a lot about Green Run. I mean, that's all I've heard. But they're really explosive on offense.
Yeah.
I got to see Maury a little bit. They look tough. All those games are going to be tough matchups for us. So,
yep.
All you can do is wait till you get there and play it, and
that's it. I think you're going to be a tough matchup for all those teams. And then, of course, Highland Spring is the other region, and they're all very good football teams. We're definitely rooting for you, and we'll be at some games.
You're rooting for us? You're rooting for us. I'm going to write that one down.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
If we were playing Phoebus, would you root for us?
No.
Okay.
I'll be honest. If you were playing
Bethel, no.
Maybe next year, Bethel. We'll give you this chance this year to go back to back. But after this, we'll be ready. Yeah. Well, thanks, Coach. We really appreciate you coming on. If there's anything we can ever do for you, I enjoyed the Freedom game. I actually live in Woodbridge and coach a lot of those kids out there. But I just love great football, and I love what you've done over the years. Again, I was here in the Woodbridge area, and I was following when you all I was at that game at UVA when you beat Potomac because my wife worked at Woodbridge, and then they played Westfield right after that. But man, just the way your kids play, I know Mike Jeter. I've known him, and Deuce. I coached track for years, and they've done well in the track area. And then I've coached youth football. But you've got some great assistants. I know you've got some great kids. There are kids I went to your game, and I was like, oh, he goes to my church. He goes to my church. And so I know, just keep doing what you're doing, man. And you're such a positive impact on these kids and in the community. So I'm definitely pulling for you, man. Keep doing your thing.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
And Coach, I am officially rooting for you to win the state championship. So we're 757 guys. We're Hampton. Maybe let's go to ODU. Let's go to ODU for the state championship. And then what we can do is take him to the city of Hampton that has 27 state championships, by the way. We just like to point that out. The city of Hampton has 27 state championships between three illustrious programs, Phoebus, Bethel, and of course, Hampton's number 17. And by the way, Coach, Mike Smith has a good shot at 4. Broad Run has a good shot. I think they've got a tough out, because they may be playing Tuscarora again. And
they might have to beat them twice.
What's that?
They might have to beat them twice.
Right, and that's tough to do. And I think that's been a situation before, but they've got a really good team. And I'm pulling for Broad Run also. It'll be a little tough. I would like to see Mike Smith get a state championship this late in his career. That would be great. But, I'd love to see the kids at Broad Run, get a state championship. He runs a good program over there. Before we let you go, I want to give a shout out to and help me out. I know the family, but I'm going to kill their last name. Kai and Caden. What's their last name, Coach?
Irizarry.
Irizarry. All right, they go to my church. Their mom's the school nurse at Virginia Academy, and they I forgot what game I went to. They got some good playing time. So thanks for having us on. We're looking forward to the playoffs, fall, crisp air. We're probably going to start, smelling some wood-burning fireplaces. Your team is so good. You're a threat every year, whether you're loaded with, D1 and D2 kids. But, we watched how fundamental you are. So you'll get that third championship.
One thing, and Coach, thank you for not throwing stuff back in our face, because I want to say this. Look, Loudoun County, I've been in this area now for 30 years. I've ref high school basketball since the early 90s. So I've seen Loudoun County grow from just a few high schools to where you are now. And I'm going to tell you, Loudoun County plays some football. Like we're proud to be from Hampton. But look, the things you guys have done with those all these new high schools in the last 15, 20 years, they're playing some great football out there. And I just tell you, I'm proud to say I'm from Northern Virginia, because you guys, with the success that's happened at Broad Run and Independence to be so new, to be so good so soon. So, and I've seen that with a lot of you guys. So, yeah, we're really proud to be from Hampton. But you being from Loudoun County, you guys are rolling, man. Good stuff.
I appreciate that. We're just trying to keep up, man. It's tough.
Well, you're doing a good job, and your sons are doing a great job, on defense, offense, and defensive coordinator. We know you got a good staff. You got good kids. Your kids behave on the field. We don't see a lot of trash talking, and that comes from up above. We don't see a lot of dirty play. Very respectful kids, in the building. All the kids there at Stonebridge. It's a great school. You walk the halls of some of these schools around here. We're not going to name any, but it's like, welcome to the jungle. So we're really pulling for Stonebridge. Good luck. So, by the way, Baltimore's got great crabs, but when we go show you the 30 championships, we'll get you some good seafood down there. Foreman Field, Hampton Boulevard. We're rooting for you, Coach. Tell the kids that check out the Kirk and Byrd show. We are on YouTube, the Kirk and Byrd show. And we're also, if anybody wants to listen to a podcast, which a lot of people are doing now, we are on Apple, Spotify, Google, and Amazon. And we look forward to seeing you at a game. Thank you for coming on.
All right. Appreciate you having me.
All right. Thank you. We appreciate you. Take care.
Appreciate it.